Have you ever wondered what kinds of terrifying beasts roamed the earth during the medieval era? While knights battled for honor and kingdoms rose and fell, the wild world outside the castle walls was teeming with creatures as fierce as any sword-wielding warrior. These weren't the mythical dragons sung about in taverns, but real, living predators with jaws that could crush bone, claws that could tear through flesh, and instincts honed over millennia. In this video, we're diving into a time when man was not always the apex predator. Get ready to meet the 10 most ferocious animals of the medieval world, and trust us, some of these creatures would have made even the boldest knight hesitate. Stick around until the end and tell us in the comments. Which of these medieval monsters would you absolutely never want to face? And if you're into history, wild animals, and brutal survival stories, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who thinks lions are the scariest thing out there. Let's begin. Number 10. The dire wolf. Yes, it's not just a fantasy name. The dire wolf was a real predator, larger and more muscular than any gray wolf alive today. It lived across Europe and the Americas and hunted in packs. Its bite force was enough to shatter bone, and its sheer size made it a true terror of the forests. Imagine being a lone traveler in a cold medieval forest and hearing not just one howl, but several, echoing through the trees. That wasn't just fear, it was likely the end. Number 9. The European cave lion. Though extinct by the high medieval period, stories and legends of this massive predator lingered. It was one of the largest species of lion ever to exist. Bigger than today's African lions, it could weigh over 700 pounds and stood nearly 4 feet tall at the shoulder. These lions dominated Europe's open plains and woodlands. Knights may have fought bears for glory, but no one was rushing to fight one of these. Number 8. The Eurasian lynx. Don't be fooled by its size. This wildcat was on. Still, he's a master ambush predator. With razor-sharp, retractable claws and deadly precision, the Eurasian lynx could silently stalk prey through dense medieval forests. It could leap from trees, attack without warning, and vanish before anyone knew what happened. Farmers feared them for their attacks on livestock, and they were nearly impossible to track once they disappeared into the wilderness. Number 7. The aurochs. This wasn't your average cow. The aurochs was a gigantic, wild ancestor of modern cattle, standing over 6 feet tall and weighing more than 2,000 pounds. Fiercely territorial and aggressive, it was known to charge at hunters and horses alike. Medieval hunters would sometimes form entire groups just to take down one aurochs. Even then, it could result in serious injury or death. These beasts were strong, fast, and completely unpredictable. Number 6. The gray wolf. Still present today, but even more feared in medieval times. The gray wolf was a symbol of danger, death, and winter. With human settlements surrounded by wilderness, wolves were a constant threat, especially during harsh winters when food was scarce. Packs would occasionally raid villages, and stories of werewolves were born from real encounters with hungry, desperate predators circling homes at night. Number 5. The brown bear. Massive, powerful, and territorial. The brown bear was the ultimate forest heavyweight, standing over 8 feet tall on its hind legs and armed with claws the size of steak knives. This beast could easily overpower a man. In medieval Europe, encounters with bears were often fatal. Warriors who dared to face them did so with spears and prayer. Some kings even kept bears for entertainment, but taming a wild bear was never truly possible. Number 4. The wild boar. You might laugh, but medieval boars were no joke. These muscular animals had sharp tusks, a bad temper, and a willingness to fight to the death. They were known to charge at hunters and trample even armored soldiers. In fact, boar hunting was considered one of the most dangerous sports of the nobility. Their thick hides made arrows nearly useless. You didn't chase a wild boar, you hoped it didn't chase you. Number 3. The giant crocodile. While Europe had its monsters, medieval travelers and traders along the Nile feared something even worse. The Nile crocodile. This apex predator could grow over 16 feet long and had one of the most powerful bite forces in the animal kingdom. Tales of crocodiles pulling armored men into the water and crushing them in seconds weren't exaggerations, they were warnings. Even the bravest knights avoided swamps when crocodiles were known to lurk nearby. Number 2. The leopard. Found across parts of medieval Africa, Asia, and even reaching southern Europe. Leopards were known for their stealth, strength, and sheer ferocity. Unlike lions, which roared before attacking, leopards struck without warning, climbing trees, leaping silently, and killing swiftly. Some medieval texts describe them as demons in cat form. Their elusive nature made them even more dangerous. You rarely saw a leopard before it was already too late. Number 1. The hyena. It may not look like the fiercest predator, but don't underestimate it. Hyenas are relentless hunters and even more relentless scavengers. In medieval Africa and parts of the Middle East, hyenas were feared not just for attacking livestock, but for scavenging battlefields, raiding burial grounds, and sometimes even attacking the sick or vulnerable. With jaws strong enough to crush bone and a chilling, almost human laugh, hyenas became symbols of death and decay. Superstitions grew around them, and they were often blamed for witchcraft and evil omens. So, there you have it. 10 terrifying animals that ruled the shadows of the medieval world. Creatures that didn't need armor or weapons to be lethal. Whether it was the crushing bite of a crocodile or the silent strike of a lynx, these predators helped shape the fears and folklore of the era. Which of these ferocious beasts gave you chills? Which one do you think would win in a fight? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. If you enjoyed this medieval wildlife tour, subscribe for more epic historical content. And share this with someone who still thinks the scariest thing in the Middle Ages was the Black Plague. Spoiler, sometimes nature is even deadlier.